There's damning testimony in a murder trial for a family that has waited decades for answers. A former detective revealed what the accused husband did just hours after his ex-wife was reported missing. Brittany Weir shares the latest.
The prosecution is building their case around that suspicious timeline. They say exactly one day after Regina Hicks went missing 24 years ago, her ex-husband Paul Hicks filed the divorce papers. And throughout the entire investigation, they claim that he attacked Regina's character and claimed she was an unfit mother.
What day were these papers filed? October 19th, 2001?
October 19th, yes. I'm reading the opposite direction. Yes, sir. At 1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. And what happened on October 18th, 2001?
Regina was first reported missing.
24 years after Regina Hicks died, her ex-husband now on trial for murder. On day 6, former detective Dane Howard took the witness stand. Regina Hicks was just 25 years old in 2001. Her last day seen alive, she spent shopping with her new boyfriend. Days later, police found her car submerged in a pond in Willard. Her body was inside. In those divorce papers, Paul Hicks sought full custody of their 4-year-old son.
Plaintiff should be designated the residential parent for the following reasons. Defendant has moved in with boyfriend Mike Perkins. Defendant continues to use poor judgment, is not stable.
Prosecutors say he attacked Regina's character. He claims she was unstable and used drugs.
Did you find any prescription drugs in Regina's house when you searched the house?
No, sir.
Prosecutors played a 2001 police interview. In that tape, Paul Hicks suggests that Regina was suicidal.
During the investigation, did you uncover any evidence that Regina Hicks was a nervous wreck the day before she died?
No, quite the opposite.
The defense has their chance to question the detective next. Then the prosecution continues its case on Wednesday. If convicted, Paul Hicks could spend life in prison. Reporting, Brittany Weir, 19 News.